Hi everybody. So today I'm going to share with you another Bible review, but before we get started I would like to ask you to make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure that you click that little bell so that you'll be notified when I upload a new video. That not only helps the channel to grow and to reach more people with the Bible, but it also lets me know that you want me to continue doing these Bible review videos. So today we're going to be looking at a new Bible from Thomas Nelson. This one's going to be the New King James Large Print Wide Margin Reference Bible. This one is part of the Premier Collection, and I personally love their Premier Collection Bibles. All of my favorites are from this line. So I'm going to hold that right there so you can pause and read that top section if you'd like, and then we'll drop down to the features. So some of the ones that I would like to point out is this one will have book introductions. It is verse by verse, and it's got over 72,000 cross-references. This one also has the full set of the translator notes with the built-in glossary, so I love that it's got that. It'll have the concordance and maps, red letter, we've got 3 nice ribbons, sewn binding. The text is line matched, and it's a 10.5 font, so really nice size that's easy to read from. Here's our ISBN number. This one does retail for $189.99. You can find it for less online, and as always, I will put a link in the description box. So once you open up the box, you will find that the Bible is going to be wrapped in the black paper with the Premier Collection seal. So I don't break the seal, I just pull this out and slide it in and out. You'll also get the little sheet that talks about the Premier Collection. You could pause and read that if you would like. And it also has a lifetime warranty, and they are excellent about their warranties. Okay, so this particular Bible measures out at 10 inches tall, 8 inches wide, and 1.5 inches thick, and that is going to be the outside measurements. So we're going to have black head and tail bands, really nicely done gold gilding. The gilding on this one looks fantastic. We've got the goatskin cover, which has a really nice feel to it. I like the grain pattern on there. You can see how nice that looks. It is also perimeter stitched. It does have a little bit of a yap, so not a full yap or anything, but does have a nice yap on there. The spine on this one looks fantastic. So we'll have Holy Bible, New King James Version, and Thomas Nelson. And then we've got those 5 raised hubs, which I personally love raised hubs on a Bible, but just a really nice quality cover. The leather on this one smells really good as well. So we'll have a nice liner. I believe that the liner is done from cowhide, if I remember when they first started talking about doing this one. So it does have a really nice feel to it. We can see it is stamped goatskin leather cover. We've got that gold gilt line all the way around the perimeter. That looks really nice. This one is an edge-lined Bible, so that liner is going to be tabbed up onto the block. And then we'll get right into the Bible. We've got a presentation page. These front pages tend to always get a little wrinkled, but we'll have our 2 title pages. I really like the shade of red that they used in this. Then we've got our copyright page, our table of contents. This one was printed in China, for those of you who like to know that. And then we get right into the preface. One thing I do want to point out right here is we do have some overcast stitching, as you can see there. So really nicely done on the binding on this one. And again, I really love the shade of red that they went with. So we're going to have our double column layout with all of the translation notes, all the cross references, the glossary, everything's going to be down on the bottom of the page. That way, if you're just reading and you don't want to search out the references, the text will be uncluttered for you. There's also going to be book introductions. I will get you a close-up, so if you would like to pause and read that book introduction, you can. So I'll hold that just a little bit away from that page behind it so you can read that if you'd like. It goes over the author, the time, the key verse, and the theme. I do like the shade of the red in there. I think that looks really nice. You can see that we've got the chapter numbers, and then we've also got the little A and B there for our references. And then we've got the red down here in the references as well. It's also going to be for the books and then also where you're at in the Bible as well. So really nice shade of red, very easy on the eyes. So the margins, now when you're in a section like this where there's not a ton of pages, let me just give you a quick example. So in here we can see that we're not going to have as much inner margin space, but where it's more flat, you've got a little bit more. But what they really did was they put the wide margins on the outside. The margins on the outside are 1 1/8 inches. I did hear that somebody said it was 1.5 inches, and that is incorrect. So they did ask me, the person who mentioned it asked if I would show a close-up showing the margin space. So if we look at that, we can see that it is in fact 1 1/8 inches. Now some books you might have a little bit more, like in the poetic sections, you'll have a little bit more margin space, but on these outside margins, you've got 1 1/8 inches of usable space. And if you wanted to take small notes in here, you definitely could, but I'm really going to just utilize it for those outer margins. So again, we've got the 10.5 font. I'll get you a close-up of that. It is really easy on the eyes to read from, and it is verse by verse. I personally really like a verse by verse layout. So this one is going to be my main Bible, and this is going to be the one that I'm going to take notes in. So one thing we can see here is how nice that art gilding looks. I'll get you a close-up of that. So that looks really, really good. We do have our 3 ribbons. We're going to have 2 black and 1 red. They are going to be 3/8 of an inch wide, double-sided satin, cut nicely, and they're long enough to use. So I do really like that we've got the 3 ribbons. So we've got the 2 black, and then we've got the red one. We'll see the red one here in just a moment. So I'll get you a close-up of the Psalms and how that's going to look. Now in these sections you will see some ghosting where there's no text, but if you're just looking at the biblical text, it's not quite as noticeable. And that is just because it is line matched. So I really like the layout of this one. And you can see here that you do have more space just because in the poetic sections the way it's laid out. But I really like having all of these references and everything down at the bottoms of the pages. This Bible does have a European Bible paper, which is a 36 GSM paper. It feels really nice. I personally love this Bible. We're going to get back to the New Testament. We'll see our red ribbon. Again, 3/8 of an inch, double satin, cut really well. I love that they give us 3 of them. So they really did a nice job on the ribbons. I will also get you a close-up of an example on the glossary section. So we're going to take a quick look here. We're in Mark chapter 9, verse 19. So we'll see here, "O faithless generation," we can see the little A here, but then we can also see this little number 1. And then we can see over here, "How long shall I bear with you?" We've got that little number 2. So if we look down here at the bottom, we'll see the 919, and the little A is going to be for the cross-reference, which we can see it's John 4:48. But then that little number 1, we can see that the word for that is going to be unbelieving, and then number 2 is put up with. So you've got not only the cross references, you've got a little built-in glossary, but then we've also got translator notes here. So I personally really love that it's got all of this. I know some people would rather have wide margins all the way around. Me personally, I prefer what they've done here, because we've got the 10.5 font, verse by verse layout, all of the references, all of the translator notes, a built-in glossary. So to me, I would rather have that than a little bit wider margin. I'll get you a close-up of the red letter, which the shade of red that they did in this one is superb. So really a great shade of red, very easy on the eyes to read from. This one is pretty much my new favorite Bible right now. I absolutely love this one. I think they did a fantastic job on it. So we're going to get back to the end of Revelation, and we'll see that we've got red letter all the way through. So all the way through to the end of Revelation, we've got our red letter, and then we get into our concordance. The concordance is going to be 133 pages. The margin space on these are going to be 7/8 of an inch. So I'll get you a close-up on the concordance. We've got our words done in bold in that same shade of red, which looks really nice. I'm not sure what the font size is on here, but it is very easy for me to read. So if you find that you don't have enough margin space in the biblical text, you can always make yourself a note with the page number and continue your notes back in the concordance. So we'll get to the end of the concordance. We do have a reading plan. It's going to be a 1-year reading plan. I do really like that they give us sections from both the New Testament as well as the Old. So you can see there what you would read each day. So that'll get you through the Bible in 1 year. Then we're going to have a note regarding the type, which is done by 2K Denmark. I personally really love the Comfort Print text. I find that it's very easy on my eyes, and I just don't get as tired. I can read from a Comfort Print Bible much longer than any others. Then we're going to have our maps. We're going to have 7 maps spread out on 8 pages. We can see that it is a glossy type of paper, but nice color on the maps. I'll get you a close-up. You can see that everything is nice and easy to read. We've also got some stitching there in the gutter. So nice sewn binding. So as long as you take care of this Bible, it will last you a lifetime. We've got our 2-page spread. This one will lay flat no matter where you put it. Initially, it might not on these end pages, but I'll get you back to the very front section of the Bible. And we can see that we're right at the title pages, and it's not having any issues staying open. So once you get into the actual biblical text, it will lay flat for you. I'll give you a quick look at this layout versus a Cambridge. So this one is going to be a Cambridge wide margin. This one is the ESV. I don't have a New King James in this one. I would love to get one, but price-wise, I probably won't. Now, the biggest thing that's going to be the difference on here, so you're going to have a little bit difference on the text block, but we've also got different translations as well. But you can see that it's not much bigger. The cover, of course, is going to be bigger. We've got more of a yap here. But the biggest thing, and the reason why I prefer this wide margin over the Cambridge, find a section with no notes in it, is going to be because of the font. So yes, we might have wide margins top and bottom, but this is so much harder on my eyes than this one here. So I'll try to get a good close-up of the text against the Cambridge. So you can see that we've got this 10.5, and the verse by verse is going to be a lot easier on the eyes to read from. So for me, I'm fine with having a little bit less total margin space, because the Bible's really not going to be much difference. The reason why this one's not as big is because it doesn't have quite as much of a yap. But personally, I love this one. This one is my new favorite Bible. This is going to be the one that I'm going to be taking all of my notes in, because I do love the New King James, and I really, really like the Premier Collection Bibles. I think they do just an amazing job on these. So again, this one is the New King James large print wide margin reference Bible. There's our ISBN number. And again, I will link it in the description box. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.